Hey everybody, Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. I hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. It is time for a weekly recap. So excited to talk about the Las Vegas real estate market numbers for this week. Got a little sneak preview about our September recap, which we're going to be filming here soon. So let's dive into the numbers and take a look to see what's going on with single family homes, shall we? So if we pull up the first slide here, you're going to notice that we have this week 5,011 active homes. 5,011 homes for sale currently in the Las Vegas Valley. Now that's down a couple percentage points from last week's number of 5,117. Now of the 5,011, you'll notice that 4,952 are traditional sales, 32 are short sales, and 27 are foreclosures. Now if we move over to under contracts, those are homes with a purchase contract in place. We have 4,370 starting off this week, down 4.7% from last week's number of 4,587. Now of the 4,370, 4,239 are traditional sales, 102 are short sales, and 29 are foreclosures. Now the other big key stats we'd love to keep an eye on are back on markets at 222, and then price decreases 557. Now you will notice from last week we did tick up in median sold price. And that's a little sneak preview of the September recap numbers. So we are now up to $337,500 for the median home price here in the Las Vegas Valley. Now the under contracts, not too worried about them because September ended in the middle of the month. So with that cutoff in the middle of the month, we probably will see this little dip in under contracts, but I probably see it rebounding here when we report next week. Now let's take a look at the overall 7-day changes. Now if we look at that, you'll notice we had 794 listings hit the market in the last week. There's those back on markets and price decreases. And in the under contract show and under contract no show, we have 1,132 homes under contract over a 7-day period, and then 1,031 sold. Again, we're reflecting a lot of that month-end change, but that under contract, seeing that sort of separation with 1,132 versus the 794 and back on markets 222. I mean, that's a pretty healthy separation by about 300 units there over a 7-day window, even with a month change. So showing some pretty strong, robust, very robust situation with our homes here in the Valley. Now, also want to take a look at homes by price point. Now we changed up the slide here a little bit because I wanted to break out the top tier prices to now show 1 million to 2 million and then over 2 million. Now if we go back here to the under $250,000 homes for sale, we have 390 versus 500 under contract. In the 250,000 to 500,000 price point, we have 2,893 for sale versus 3,122 under contract. In the 500,000 to 750,000 price point, we have 799 homes for sale versus 502 under contract. And then if you see the 750 to a million, that kind of that mid-luxury segment I like to call it, 302 active listings for sale versus 128 under contract. Then in that $1 million to $2 million price point, this is what's interesting where I want to kind of dive into that a little more. You'll notice we have 262 listings for sale versus 108 under contract. And then those homes over $2 million, 206 active homes for sale versus 36 under contract. So it's interesting to see as we broke out that top tier price point to $1 million to $2 million and $2 million up, the $1 million to $2 million is showing a lot of characteristics of that $750 to $1 million price point. Still, almost not quite a 2 listings for every 1 in contract, 2-to-1 ratio, but not too far off. But as you'll see too, our entry level price point and our core market segment really, really strong with more homes under contract than available for sale. So that is still moving at a very good pace. But again, as you can see, in pretty much all price points, except for the top luxury, which is acting more like a traditional market, everything else is still showing quite a bit of strength with each price point there. So again, very healthy, strong housing market right now. Now, let's take a look at our one slide here. We like to kind of graph out over the last couple months on the active and under contract listings. Now, you'll notice we had a little tick down for the month end. They're both in active homes for sale and under contract. I think those under contracts, like I said, most of them expiring at the end of the month, and then, you know, new ones going into contract. I do see when we run this next week that number most likely is going to peak back up again. But again, as you'll see from an inventory level, we're still at that cruising altitude of roughly 5,000 homes active for sale in the Las Vegas Valley. So still kind of running around that 5,000 range. Houses under contract, you know, we got a little dip there to 4,370 from a couple weeks ago's highs of 4,637. So, you know, we're still in that mid 4,000 range. That's still a very strong number and showing big demand. And again, the demand is really being focused around low interest rates. Talking with lenders over the last week, the historically low interest rates, whether it was last week, last month, 4 months ago, are really still driving this housing market we're seeing. And also, too, you know, it's also open to access from those outside of Las Vegas. As you may or may not know, roughly 46% of all searches that some of the big websites have been seeing are for Las Vegas have come from out of state. So people from out of state, 46% of all searches for Las Vegas housing are coming from out of state. And a lot of them have to do with the big coastal cities from Seattle all the way down to San Diego. Pretty we're going to dive into the September numbers here in an upcoming video, but I wanted to give you the weekly recap. So our housing market is still staying pretty strong, quite strong. There was a little chatter about, you know, what could happen with the election and election season. So we're under 30 days now till the election, and we haven't really seen a whole lot of change there. So I think the interest rates and demand are still driving things more so than what's going on at the national level with regards to the election. But we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. Now, if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in Las Vegas real estate, do Colleen and I a big favor. Reach out to us. You can direct message us, comment below, or give us a call, because we'd love to help you on answering your questions about buying, selling, or investing in Las Vegas real estate. So that's this weekly recap. I'm Don Cramer. My partner, Colleen Schaefer, who's unfortunately not available here today, sends her best, and we make up the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty, where more now than ever, your real estate experience matters. So give us a call if we can help you today. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.